madam, and good morning all of my friends. Thank you for the time to given to our group. We will explain for us about our material today. But before that, I will introduce ourselves. My name is Janek Pramatasariolo as the moderator and the third and the last presenter. Dwi Astuti Zebua as the first presenter. Maywantuti Eka Juniat Zenrata as the second presenter. Okay, now we will explain for us about instructional media materials and also resources. And now to first presenter, time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity that's given to me. And right now, I want to explain for us about description of instructional material. So the first, I want to explain about definition according Faize and Dahan. Instructional material are print and non-print items that are designed to impact information to students in the educational process. Instructional material include items such as a print, textbook, magazines, newspapers, slide, picture, and etc. The next, according by Yusuf. So, the next instructional material are the chalkboard. Chalkboard in Indonesia is a papan tulis. So, the chalkboard is the teaching and the teachers frequently use, particularly during the lectural and discussion. And then, according Abdul, so instructional material are material or tools locally made or imported could make tremendous and enhancement of lesson impact is intelligently used. So we can conclude that instructional material are the content or information conveyed with a course. This include the lecturer readings, textbooks, multimedia component, and other resources in course. The next, function and purpose. So instructional material are essential tools in learning every subject in the school curriculum. They allow the student to interact with words, symbols, and ideas in ways that develop their abilities in listening, reading, viewing, thinking, speaking, writing, and using media and technology. The third is a characteristic. So characteristic have for the first be adaptive. So every student comes to a classroom with his or her own reserve of knowledge on the subject at hand. The next is focus on concept and principle. The next is take into account the student ongoing cognitive activities. And the last, not replace the student's ongoing cognitive activities. The next is a kind and type. So, what is a kind and type instructional material? Well, instructional material can be classified by type, including print, visual, and audiovisual, among other. The first is print, like is textbooks, manuals, and handouts. So, audio, like is a microphone, podcast, photograph, and etc. And audiovisual, like is a slide, freelance, multimedia, video, television. The next is electronic. In electronic, like is a calculator, computer, and etc. The next is advantage and disadvantage. The first advantage. So, instructional material make learning more interesting, practical, realistic, and appealing. And the next is disadvantage. So the first disadvantage of instructional media is the use of inappropriate instructional media. The second disadvantage is the lack of interactivity. The last is disadvantage of instructional media as reported by the participant is the cause of boring. So that's all. Thank you.
Alright, my name is Mayantuteka Juniacendrata. I wanna explain for us about the description of instructional media. The first definition. According by Ruiz, instructional media are created the possible direct interaction between the learners and their environment. And according by Adekola, instructional media are channels of communication through which information passes for use in educational situation in conjunction with the instructor. And then, according by Onyejum, instructional media are resource material which help to facilitate teaching and learning. And based on the foregoing information, it can be concluded that the medium of study is a tool that can be used for study and can stimulate the mind, feelings, attention, willpower, prompting, deliberate, purposeful, and controlled learning process. And the next, function and purpose. According to Professor Dr. Asnawir, instructional media has several functions. Help students study easily, give real experience abstract to be more concrete, to stimulate students' interest, and all of the students' sense can be active, and to attract student interest in study, and the last, to give theory with reality. But according to Davis, the function of instructional media is the first aids to instructional media serves to help the teacher and instructors to manage instruction more efficiently, and the second, to learning media serves to help students learn more efficiently. And the next characteristic, the media that are available for use in open and distance learning can be described in terms of a number of characteristics. Among the more important characteristics are accessibility, cost, teaching function, and interactivity. Okay, next kinds and types. According by Harmer, states that there are several types of instructional media that can be used by teacher. The first, the student themselves, realia, picture, course book, boards, overhead projector, flip cards, and computer-based presentation technology. The next, advantage and disadvantage. There are some advantages of using instructional media in a classroom teaching learning process, such as encouraging the teachers and the learners in delivering the subject materials, helping the learners to understand the subject material, facilitating the learners in learning activities, and avoiding the learners boring. It is the advantage, but instructional media also have disadvantage, such as too much time is wasted on the internet and using media. The second, some of information available in the media is not suitable in the suitable for children. Parents should supervise them. And the last, it can be additive. And the last, there is a possibility of an increase in cyber crime. And the next, can cause health problems. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, friends, I will explain for us about a description of instructional resources. And the first, I will explain for us what the definition of instructional resources. So, instructional resources are a solution to teaching challenge. Here, two instructional resources have the much goals, or maybe from the teaching learning process, are aligned to content standards and include learning goals. And also student success criteria, embedded strategies to support students, and easy to use teaching materials. So here is to make teaching learning process, or must maybe the lessons, the teacher must have a strategies to teaching the students, or maybe the teacher must have the learning goals to the teaching learning process in the one maybe today. So the teacher must have what the learning goals. So and also the student, I'm sorry, the teacher can know what the criteria from the students. So maybe the teacher can understand how the attitude, or maybe how the criteria from the students. Okay, after that I will explain for us about what the function and purpose to instructional resources. So the first, the function is the primary function of a school program is the instruction of students of staff activities and hours. So here from the school, instruction from, or maybe instruction from the students is important, and all of the staff activities and hours from the school, not teacher, or maybe headmaster. important school? No, but the students also is important, or maybe the staff and ever in the school. After that is the characteristic. Here, the characteristic of the instructional resource, characteristics of effective instructional make learning a long term. The center process engage students is assessment from learning process, support learning with representation and conceptual models. So here have the three characteristics from the instructional resources. The first is support learning with representation, conceptual models, and teach for the learned difference. Okay, I will term for us the traditional resources. So here, traditional resources is maybe you know what traditional resources from. Maybe for the example is maybe the difference about the traditional resources and modern resources, and from the teaching in the classroom, the traditional resources is how the teacher use the traditional resources. For example, if maybe the teacher teach the material and the students maybe drawing what maybe the meaning, or maybe what the picture from the material, maybe use the board maker, whiteboard, blackboard, and maybe from modern resources with use the PowerPoint and operator projector. And after that, graphic organizer and teacher made resources. Now this is very important, is the teacher made resources, because if in the school have much the good teacher, but I think also the students can good, maybe because if the teacher go to teaching in the classroom, the students can understand what the material to explain in teacher. Okay, after that is the importance to process of teaching your students. Nah, sini penting untuk proses mengajar siswa. Jadi seorang guru juga harus memiliki strategi bagaimana mengajar siswa tersebut. Maaf teman-teman, I explain about our kind and types. I'm sorry, I not explain for us about the characteristic. I will explain about the characteristic. So the characteristic from the instructional resource is the characteristics of effective instruction make learning a long term, content process, and get students in assessment for a learning process. Now after that is I will explain for us what the advantage and disadvantage from instructional resources. Okay, as you know, for maybe the material or maybe one book must have the advantage and also disadvantage. So the advantage is instructional materials make learning more interesting, practice, realistic, and applied. So here is not, ini tidak terlalu asing bagi kita ya. What the advantage from these instructional resources. So after that is disadvantage. Quality issue, lack of human interaction between teacher and students, language and all cultural barriers, technological issue, intellectual property or copyright concern, sustainability issue. So here is the quality issue. So the quality issue, jadi quality issue ini mencangkup how to quality the teacher to teach, and also how the quality to students to understand what they explain for the teacher. Jadi di sini kualitas bukan hanya dari guru saja. Kualitas emang bukan dari guru saja, tetapi dari siswa juga. Nah, after that is kurangnya interaksi manusia, interaksi guru dan juga siswa. So here lack of human interaction between teacher and also students. So actually this is important. The teacher and the students must have the interaction, so the teaching in the classroom is good. Okay friends, that's all our explanation about the description of instructional resources. Thank you. Okay, the next I will have for us what the media and instruction. Here I have the according to by Heinix states that instruction is the arrangement of information and environment to facilitate learning, and the according with Thackeray is the definition state that instructional technology was the practice of designing, planning, producing, and also using pictorial methods which control the learning process and contribute to the development of the learner's full potential. My friends, this is all about the media and instruction. Thank you.